welcome back, you guys, to another amazing night with yours truly, Sylvia Camille. And I hope that if you're in the ATL, you are enjoying this weather today. It was simply beautiful, a beautiful Sunday in the ATL. Now, let me get my comment section because, guys, as I posted to let you know that tonight we had a serious topic we got to talk about, a very serious topic. And I put in there, I am wearing orange today because of this serious topic. But before I get started, I want to go over the word of the week to carry you on all week long. And I came up with this word because I've been reading about the serious topic discussion that we're going to talk about. And I came up with grace. Grace. And there are three definitions of grace. Okay, beauty, she's a grace. She walks gracefully. We can be used like that. Simple and elegance, courtesy of goodwill to somebody in grace. But tonight, I want us and the rest of the week to think about giving ourselves grace. Do honor or credit to long one's presence. For example, if things are not going exactly how you want them to go right now, don't beat yourself up. Just give yourself a little grace. Give yourself a little grace. Because there's so much going on in the world, so many demands, and so many things that people are doing and trying to achieve in this new 2022. It might cause anxiety. So, our topic tonight is suicide. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Suicide tonight. And the reason why I chose this topic, because if you've been watching the news on Instagram, Facebook, you all would know the Academy Award winner, Regina King's son, Ian Alexander Jr., at the age of 26, passed away from suicide. Like, I cannot even imagine. Her only child, her only son, is gone. So, that's real serious, guys. That I mean, it is so serious that every time I pick up my phone and I'm going to Facebook or Instagram just to scroll and I see another article, I see people comments reaching out to her, my heart goes out to her. Not just her, but anyone who's lost a loved one. And we're going to talk about this topic for about, for the little duration of the time of Sunday Night Live with Camille, and I got some things I want to share with you. But I learned from Instagram. Let me tell you what happened to one of my classmates who passed away from suicide. Eva Burks, Michelle Burks, class of 89, Mays High School. We were cheerleaders together, junior varsity cheerleaders and varsity cheerleaders. And when I learned of her death, and they said it was suicide, it just broke my heart. Because it broke my heart for two reasons. Because I think a couple of months before, it might have been 2 or 3 months before, we had like our class reunion. We had a reunion, and we try to get together every 5 years, 10 years. Some we were having some kind of reunion. I don't know the numerical number we were celebrating. And I was asked to sing on the program. One of the classmates asked me to sing. So the first song that came to my mind was "Encourage Yourself." Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. But I was like, oh, nobody don't probably want to hear that. I went with "When the Saints Go to Worship." Had I known that Sunday that Eva was wrestling with something in her heart, her mind, her soul, and her spirit, every time I think about it, I'm like, Lord, I should have gone with my first gut. That's why they say what you hear the first time is usually correct. So I heard "Encourage Yourself," and I didn't do that. I chose "When the Saints Go to Worship." But she was in that audience. And months after that celebration, it might have been months, I don't even think it was a year. I was in that same time span. I learned of her death. And her good friend, best friend in high school, name is Shanti Das. I was scrolling through her Instagram page this week. You just don't never know if someone has been affected by suicide in their family with a loved one. And I learned that her father passed away. And what I want to share from her Instagram page, because we all say committed, but she has a program that's called Silence the Shame. I want you to Google that and share it with somebody who you might know. Silence the Shame. And on her post, when she first learned that Regina King's son had done that, she talked about the word committed suicide. And then she explained that when you commit something, it sounds like a crime. Sounds like a crime. So I listened and I read her post. And I was like, you know what? Committed suicide, that does sound kind of harsh. So it sounds very harsh to say somebody committed suicide, because then we know that means they took their own life. They took their own life. It got so bad that they just had to go. So I'm really touched by that this week. I've just been praying and, just praying over my child, because as a teenage boy growing up in society, and you see so many things going on around what you want to do, can't do, you can be influenced, and the world can swallow you. The world can swallow you like a whale can swallow us. It can. But there are things out there to help people who are struggling. So scrolling, I have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number 1-800-273-8255. So if you know, and I'm going to talk about some things or some signs. But just hearing and learning that this week, it has shaken up everyone, not just Black, white, everybody, because Regina King is a successful actress in Hollywood. And to learn that her son, and people would say, what was going on with him? But he just couldn't take it anymore. Your mother is a successful Black actress, a director, Academy Award winner. I mean, she has done so much and contributed to the Black culture in the entertainment industry with acting and helping people and developing people. And here she has a young male, 26 years old. And he was a musician and a DJ. And you would think that everything is okay. Problems. Everybody has problems. Rich, poor, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. We are all walking on this earth going through something. Remember, I said my godmother said you either going through something, in the middle of something, or coming out of something. Ian Alexander Jr. was going through something. So the word of the week again this week is grace. Give yourself some grace. The new superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools, Dr. Lisa Herron, said that when she did her first speech to the leadership. She asked us to give ourselves grace. We are working and teaching children during a national pandemic. Of course, we want gains. We want the reading gains. We want the math gains. If it was a perfect world, we want all of that. But you have to give yourself grace. Because if you can't recognize that sometimes you have to step back and give yourself a little grace, you could end up having mental issues. And I looked up suicide because the first thing I thought about was suicide. Of course, we know the meaning of it. So someone intentionally takes their own life. Okay. But underneath suicide, when you Google it, it said mental health issue. Some may argue that, and some might not. But if you read and do some research, as I was doing to prepare for tonight, mental health is serious, people. It's serious. Sometimes we laugh about it. We laugh and joke about it. Oh, she crazy, he crazy. That's just how they are. But excuse me, It's real. It wouldn't be a word. It wouldn't be a topic if it wasn't something serious. Yes, I'm wearing orange because orange and yellow are the colors for suicide awareness. Orange and yellow. And intertwined, they said it lights up a flame. It's like lighting a candle flame. Remember, I always try to light my candle when I'm doing Sunday Night Live, just to calm the atmosphere and calm my spirit. So the colors that represent suicide prevention is orange and yellow. I'm wearing orange tonight. It's a two-tone ribbon. They also two-tone a ribbon that has the candle flame. I'm just heartbroken about this, guys. I'm very heartbroken. I wish I could reach out and give her, Regina King, a hug. I want to read you a quote. I want to read to you what she posted. She said, "Our family is devastated at the deepest level by the loss of Ian. He is such a bright light who cares so deeply about the happiness of others." And when I read those words, I read them again. Our family is devastated. They're devastated at the deepest level by the loss. The deepest level. Because we all know one day we're going to go on see the maker. But, unfortunately, it's tragic acts, car accidents, plane accidents, motorcycle accidents, or an illness, a terminal illness. She said the deepest level by loss. Suicide. She said he is such a bright light who cared so deeply about the happiness of others. So when she said that, I said to myself that he gave of himself to so many other people and not for himself. And that's where self-care comes in. That's for all of us, where we have to take time and do us. We have to stop and say, no, I can't do that today because I got to take care of me, myself. Because you can do that. You can become so engrossed in other people's things or what they want you to do or participate or just anything. And then you forget about yourself and you don't have enough energy for yourself. And that can cause depression and other things. And that's what I want to share with you, what it said. Suicide, a mental health condition. Suicide is the act of intentionally causing one's own death. That's what I said. And they said the onset of suicide, when people start thinking about that, is between ages 15 and 30 and 70 plus years. There's a man who was the CEO of Martyr, 56 years old, passed of suicide, took his own life. He walked out in front of the Martyr train, making $366,000 a year, 10% bonuses during the year, $36,000, married, 3 children. You ask yourself, what was going on? Did someone not see the signs? We just got to pray, people. We've got to pray, people. We've got to pray. Some risk factors for suicide: depression. We all get depressed sometimes, depending on what's going on. But for us, we are blessed. We are blessed when we can pull ourselves out of our own depression without pills. We might need to talk to a therapist, which is fine. It's fine. I think everybody needs to go see a therapist at least twice a year, just to have somebody else to bounce back and you talk and say, this is what's going on in my life. I'm doing this. Because if not, something like this could happen. Thoughts of suicide can happen. Other risk factors that people might not know that might contribute to someone's thoughts of suicide: bipolar disorder. We hear the word bipolar. People are like, I think she bipolar. I think he bipolar. They probably are. They might be on some meds. But we need to recognize it, and people cannot be ashamed. My classmate Shanta Dawes, who I was talking about, she has an organization, a foundation called Silence the Shame. And I think that's powerful. She started that. Silence the shame. There's nothing to be ashamed about. We're talking about people with drug addictions, alcohol, sexual abuse. We need to talk about mental health. It girlfriend, this is my girlfriend. Now, y'all, let me tell you, she coming to dinner, but she bipolar. Let's just keep it 100. So that way, if something pops off, everybody will know how to handle the situation. Whew, autism, spectrum disorder, schizophrenia, personality disorders, anxiety disorders, alcohol and substance abuse. All of those are risk factors that can lead to someone having the thoughts of suicide. People, we got to give each other grace this week, and we got to give our neighbor grace too, because we don't know what's going on in their mind. We don't know what their mental capacity, what they're carrying around. They might seem happy, joyful, and all of that. And hell is breaking out in their mind and their thoughts. Whew. Tonight, I'm just like, it's straining. It's straining because I wish I could reach out and touch and hug somebody and let them know that everything is going to be all right. Even when you think it's not, it is. But mental illness is not the only cause of people having the thoughts of committing suicide. And I'm trying not to use the word commit, because it sounds criminal act. Check out Shanti's Instagram page. Social factors can also, like loneliness, financial ruin, and shame, can be triggers of thoughts of that. And I can't remember, it was a CEO in New York City with the New York stock market exchange years ago. And that's when the economy went down and people lost a lot of their money. I think that's when Martha Stewart got in trouble, when somebody told her she needed to take her money out. And that man killed himself because of financial loss. He was not going to be able, the man could not handle the fact that he was losing money. That's right, Miss Harradine said, great topic. Don't take depression lightly. That is so true. Don't take depression lightly, people. No. Because it can spiral into something bigger. And who knows? We don't know. Ian may have been depressed. I don't know. That's a private situation for that family. But if he had a therapist, and I'm going to share some of those warning signs they have. But not just those topics I said, but loneliness, financial ruin, and shame can be triggers for someone having that thought of suicide. It's deep. Deep, people. Deep, deep, deep. Now, this is what Shanti has on her page, because I've got to, I think this is a little organization, a foundation I want to work with, helping people with this. Now, let's just think about her. Her father passed away of suicide, her best friend, and her sister. It's 3 people in her life. And on her Instagram page, she put some warning signs of suicide. Withdrawing from your family and friends. If you see someone who's withdrawing from the family and friends, and you know that person, they always be around, and then all of a sudden, they're just not themselves anymore. Reach out and find out what's going on. Giving away important possessions. Oh, y'all can have this. Y'all can have this. I don't need this anymore. I'm not going to need this. Something's going on. Saying goodbye to friends and family. Putting affairs in order, such as making a will. Extreme. Now, everybody working on their will, because we all need to be doing that sometimes. But if y'all see me doing it, that don't mean I'm trying to kill myself, okay? I'm trying to take myself out. I just want to have my house in order. Just in case the good Lord above. But this is a warning sign, okay? Extreme risky behaviors, reckless driving, Extreme mood swings, suddenly changing from sad to very calm or happy. All of these are warning signs. Talking about wanting to die or wanting to kill themselves. That's the number one sign. Talking about feeling empty, hopeless, or having no reason to live. They're giving up on life. Talking about feeling trapped or feeling that there are no solutions. No solutions. They feel like that there's no solutions. Feeling unbearable emotional or physical pain. Talking about being a burden to others. That means they're having some thoughts. Whew. And on her Instagram page, she also put on here, be the one to help someone with emotional pain. So this week, guys, I want you to show more grace to yourselves. And if you know anyone or you see anybody, and the strangest thing happened the other morning. One of my teachers texted and said that she experienced something near death. And I'm so happy she had the courage to let us know, because she said, if you all see me acting weird at school, I want you to know what happened to me over the weekend so that we'll be able to help her. So that means we can either, tell me you want to come in here and sit down for a minute. Do we need to call a therapist for you? Somebody to talk to, but that took courage for her. She don't have to tell us all the details, but just to say, okay, I got something going on. I might be acting a little weird. So if I'm acting like that, I want y'all to know so y'all can help me. Did Ian feel like that he didn't have nobody he could go tell, hey, I'm going through something. I need some help. Whew! This is so heavy. This is heavy, 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 heavy. So that's all I wanted to talk about tonight, guys, is being aware of the signs of someone who might be having those thoughts in their brain, in their mind, suicide. And I want you to comment, like, and share this so that everyone can see that there is some hope. And before closing, we're not going to stay dragged. I want to make sure that everyone is still focusing on their dreams. Their dreams, their dreams, their dreams, their dreams. I saw on Instagram over the weekend a comment about Oprah and her dreams when she was at the Tyler Perry opening of the new theater, and somebody asked her, what is your wildest dream, Oprah? And she said, I think I am living in the dream that God had for me. And I had to play it again and listen to it. She said, I'm living in the dream that I know that God had for me. So not only this week, I want to give yourself grace, but I want you to live in the dream that you know that God has for you. That's all Sylvia Camille has tonight. Like, comment, share, tell someone, hug somebody this week too. Pat them on the back, squeeze them, tell them we all gonna make it. We all gonna make it. Okay, so I see you next week. Same time, same place. Sylvia Camille. Thank you, Miss Deanie, for tuning in with me. Thank you so much, and I'll see y'all next Sunday. I love it. I got to put this up before we could put your trust in God, not money. Amen. 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 Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. See you next week.